Welcome everyone, my name is Ben Walton. I'm going to show you what it's like to be on call as a software engineer. As an on-call for my team, you need to handle any alerts that come and also any messages in the public team channel. So right now I'm just working on some requests we got in our team channel. And then earlier this morning, I was working on resolving some of the production alerts we got that went off overnight. And then we also have some non-production alerts that went off over the weekend, but those are lower priority, so we don't have to do those right away. For certain production alerts, we get paged after hours, but the ones that happened earlier this morning weren't high enough priority to get paged. So we have a rule set that we'll get notified at a later date if that happens. All of our non-production alerts come in at noon, as you can probably see from that screen recording. We're in the middle of a database migration right now, so pretty much every service pipeline we have is broken. So that's what I'm working on right now, just trying to update some configurations and get the pipelines back to green. The most annoying thing about being on call is you have to bring your computer everywhere. Right now I'm headed to the gym. I got my backpack and my computer there, and if you get an alert, you're supposed to acknowledge it right away and then be at your computer within 15 minutes.
Pricing your next project.
Luckily, didn't get any alerts during the pump. I think I forgot to mention earlier, but my team does 2-week on-call rotation, so I started this rotation last Thursday. So I'm on call the whole week, and then should go off call next Thursday. The last few days on call have been insanely busy. I think pretty much everything my team owns has been broken. the last couple days, so that's why it's been so much work. I was able to fix everything that was broken yesterday, and also those alerts I was talking about, how we kept getting them in the morning. I shipped a change yesterday and we didn't get the alerts today, so that's good. So I'm gonna keep checking up on that, but now we have another task to investigate latency for a service we migrated basically just off a build system, and the latency is a lot worse, so I'm probably gonna work on that today and see what I can find. All right, I'm gonna speed run a bunch of questions about on-call here. What are the typical hours for on-call duty? It's technically 24/7, but the business hours are from 11 a.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Pacific. So during those hours, you get non-production alerts and then obviously production too. You can get during those hours, and then after those hours, you only get paid for production alerts. How often do engineers have to be on call? So for my team, we do 2-week rotations. There's 5 people on my team, so I have to be on call for 2 out of every 10 weeks. What kind of stuff can trigger an on-call response? I would say availability drops in any of your services, increased latency, bugs, anything along those lines. How is on-call work compensated? There's no extra compensation for being on-call. What skills are necessary for being successful as an on-call engineer? I would say just knowing your systems well and being able to problem solve and knowing who to engage when things come up if you need to. What happens if an engineer is unable to respond while on call? So we have some policies set up where the on-call will get paged first, and then if they don't respond within 10 minutes, then the team gets paged. And we have different policies based on the priority of an alert, but that's just the general gist of how it works. What is the typical response time expected when on call? You're supposed to acknowledge the alert as quick as possible and then be at your computer within 15 minutes. Can engineers choose their on-call schedules? So we just have a rotating schedule, like I mentioned in a previous answer, but if you're doing something, you can reach out to people on your team and see if they can switch with you or cover. How is work-life balance maintained while being on call? Yeah, this is a good question. It's kind of just up to the engineer. Like, I try and keep my similar work hours, which is 9 to 5 Eastern. But obviously, if something comes up, you have to hop on and fix it. But usually, we don't get too much stuff outside of like the main hours, so it's not a huge deal to change that, and the work-life balance kind of stays the same as it usually is. How do different teams approach on-call differently? Yeah, so I think it depends on what systems you own. So if your services aren't high priority, then like your on-call is probably not as important if your things go down. But on the other side, if your systems are like tier 0, tier 1 services and they go down, then obviously your alerts are gonna be higher priority and more important. I just finished up one meeting. I have 2 more meetings for the day. Right now, I'm trying to estimate the level of effort of moving off our old legacy CI/CD infra onto something new. So we have a bunch of services that still use that, and we just need a rough estimate of how long that would take and where that can fit in the product roadmap. Good morning. Gotta check the oil on my car. It's had a slight leak for a couple months now. I'm driving to the airport tomorrow, so I'll make sure I have enough oil. Need a little fuel to get the kid going. Now let's check the old dipper. Looks like we need a little more. Quick recap of on-call this week. So I got 27 alerts. Worst day was Monday, got 11, and then slowly tapered off as the week went on. So overall, not too bad. Going to San Francisco for a work trip. We got Chef Alex here. What are you making, kid?
Some smash burgers.
Awfully smashed we got there. y'all. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Appreciate everyone watching. If you're looking for more week in life content, check out this video here. Next video is going to be a week in the life for a work trip.